in previous class. Okay. So in previous class, established environment is completed. Okay. In that what software test execution. So established test environment is completed. So after completion of formal meeting with developers and testers, okay, then communicate with what whom hardware infrastructure team. Okay. So then we will discuss about what hardware and software under test and application under test and building. Okay. So see this one. If required any software, okay, if you if anyone required any software, so ticket to whom? So hardware tester team and infrastructure team can give the softwares. Okay, who is installed in the laptops? Okay, so IT service desk team is installing the softwares in your laptops. Okay, so email from developers, then only you can start the execution. So when you will start the execution, so email from the developers, then only you can start the execution. That is called, okay, software test execution. So see this one. Approved build is ready. Approved test cases are ready. Okay. Approved test environment is ready. So after this is the entry criteria for testing. Okay. So this one software under test and AUD means application under test. So test execution levels. We will discuss about this topic. Very, very important. So software under test and application under test. Now we can check this one. Smoke test. Here there are 4 types of tests. First one is what smoke test. Second one is what actual test or real test or end-to-end test. So next, third one is what retest and sanity test and regression test. Okay. Then final regression test. This is one. Okay. So smoke test is conducting on which, okay, smoke test is conducted on every build. Build means any developed software is called as a build. Okay. So what is the build definition? Any developed software is called as a build. Okay. So smoke test conducting on every build. Okay. So actual test is conducting on what? So first to last build, but one build only. Okay. So SUT number 1022 N0 1.0. This is the build. Okay. So only conducting all build means we can conduct all build means that is called as a smoke testing. So only first to last build means that is called as a real or actual testing. Okay. So next retesting, sanity testing, regression testing on modified builds. Okay. If you can developer can change any modifications in the test cases. Developer can change any modifications in the test cases. Okay. Then only you can test the retest or sanity test or regression test. This is called as what? Modified builds. Okay. So except the first build, remaining all are builds. Okay. Except the first build. First build means what? Smoke test. That is what? Every build, each and every build. Okay. Next, final regression test on final build only. Okay. So this is the interview question. So when you start the smoke test on which build? The answer is at initial build, I will conduct a smoke testing on every build. Okay. At initial build, I will conduct every test. Okay. I will conduct smoke test on every build. Okay. First initial test, we can test what? Smoke testing. Initial stage, we can test the smoke testing. That is called as the definition. Okay. So SUT, software under test 1.0, software under test 2.0. So same like that n.0. There is no another ending. That's why we can say what? N.0. Okay. So now initial build means what? Smoke testing here. So we can conduct a smoke testing on the initial build. So if it is past the smoke testing, then only we will conduct on real or actual testing. If smoke test is fail, okay. So what is your action? If smoke test is fail, you will inform to the development team. Okay. So you will inform to the developer. So developer can fix that bug. Okay. Again, resend to the testing team. Okay. After receiving the bug by the developer, then testing team conduct on retesting. Okay. So same again the process. So see here, smoke testing means what is smoke testing? Check the basic functionality of the application is called as a smoke testing. Okay. Check the basic functionality of the application is called as a smoke testing. So same like this, check the main functionality of the application is also called as a smoke testing. Check the critical functionality of the application is also called as a smoke testing. So BVT means already explained, build verification testing. Okay. So in some organization, there is separate test cases for smoke testing. Some organizations have no test cases. Okay. Some organizations what only conducting only smoke testing only. Okay. If smoke test fail, what is your action? Okay. So if smoke test is fail, what is your action? As a manual tester, if smoke test is fail, I can reject the bull. Okay. Waiting for my suitable bull. So unplanned activities also. Unplanned activities means what? So understand the user story and review the test cases and the peer reviews. Okay. So next, few organizations are conducting only smoke testing. So what is real or actual testing or normal testing or end-to-end testing or system integration testing? Okay. So when smoke test was passed, okay. So testing team conduct a real or actual testing, execute all test cases. So smoke test executing what? Only, okay. Smoke test is executing only positive testing. Okay. So negative real or actual test case, real or actual testing means positive and negative. Both test cases are execute the real and actual testing. Only positive test cases are executing in, or only positive testing is conducted in smoke testing, and positive negative both testings are conducted in real or actual testing. Okay. So you can see one example, see here. So when smoke test is passed, so all is completed. Next. So no, during the testing team on the real or actual team. Okay. So testing team take a screenshot of required steps. Okay. So this is the required steps. What is the project is first project is deployed from development environment to testing environment. After that, the project is again deployed from QA environment to production environment. Production environment is what? Customer or client. So production environment is the customer or client involved in this area. So in this area, we can release the product. Okay. So next, last topic actually it is fifth after test execution. Then we will go for what report here. Okay. So here defect report or bug report. So what is the defect report and bug report? After finding the defect, okay, after finding the defect, so tester can prepare defect template in Excel sheet. Okay. So if you find the defect, it will mention the defect in Excel sheet only. Okay. So otherwise it is wrong. Okay. Now testers are using defect tracking. So what are the defect tracking tools? QT, okay, TFS, okay. Next QCR ALM, quality check or ALM application language, okay, say same like this. Next Jira and Qtest. These are all these five are called as a defect tracking tools. Okay. So what is the description question? The important very question. So see here, what is the defect description and what is the defect summary? Okay. So defect prone solutions consultancy. Okay. This is asking this question. Okay. Hello. So what is the defect description means? Detailed explanation about the defect is called as a defect description. What is the defect summary? So short explanation about the defect is called as a defect summary. Okay. So I already explained in previous class. Okay. This is all topics that I can explain in previous class. Now defect triage meeting. So which is conduct what? So first fix. Okay. So conduct which defect is going to first and which is going to last. Okay. So digital organization asking this question. So here first important defects are only fixed first. Okay. So important defects only fixed in the defect triage meeting. Okay. So this meeting is conducted in daily 2 times only. Okay. Afternoon and evening session. Okay. So developers, testers, test lead, project manager, test manager, all are involved in this area. Okay. All testers, all developers, all test leads, all test managers, project managers, okay, all are involved in that defect triage meeting. Okay. So what is defect triage meeting? Conducted which defect is going to fix first and which defect is going to conduct last. Okay. Now see here, it is very important. After finding the defect, okay, tester can prepare what? Defect template in Excel sheet. In that Excel sheet, see this one. High, low. Here, severity, priority is the main topics. What is the severity? Testers are involved. Testers are conducting the severity. Developers are conducting what? Priority. Okay. So now see this one. Login functionality is not working. Actually, we can check these 5 examples. Okay. So login functionality is not working. This is the first one. Okay. So login functionality means what? As a manual tester, we have high severity here. Okay, high severity here. So what is the severity and priority? Okay. So severity means seriousness of the defect is called as a with respect to testing. Seriousness of the defect with respect to testing is called as what? Severity. Okay, what is priority means? Importance of the defect fixing with respect to client or application is called as a priority. Okay, so see here, login option application functionality is not working. So severity is high here, and the priority is also high in this situation. Okay, so next again, spelling mistakes in the headings. Okay, spelling mistakes means tester have no problem. That's why the here medium. But in developer, spelling mistakes means definitely asking the production team to developer. So why these are spelling mistakes? So that's why the high risk of the priority means on the developers. So same like that, company logo is not correct here. So on application you will launching any application IRCTC. Okay, if you launch any application, so IRCTC have some logo is there. Okay, IRCTC maintains some logo. Okay, in that situation, company logo is not correct. Okay, so developer create wrong logo to IRCTC page. So what is your action? Actually, as a tester, we have no severity. So as a developer, it has high severity. Why means? So the developer, developer upload the wrong logo to IRCTC page. That's why. So the developer having the high severity, high priority. Okay. Next is spelling mistakes. Spelling mistakes in paragraph means so developers also low and testers also low. Okay. So application is running in Chrome browser, yeah, and Firefox browser also, but not in Edge. In this situation, so application browser is working on Chrome and Firefox is working good, well and good, and not work comfortably. It is not working in Edge browser. So in these situations, testers have the highest severity. Okay, developers have the lowest severity. Why means browser is working correctly or not? We can check as a manual tester. I can check the browsers. Okay, as a manual tester, I can check the browser is correctly working or not. If it is correctly working, okay, then here test cases pass. Otherwise, what? I can send an email to the again development team. So please fix the defect. Okay, so development is all fix the defect, and I can send to whom? Testing team. So testing team what? Conduct again retesting in that application. Okay. So same like that, checkboxes are not aligned properly here. This is what low, severity is low and priority is also low in these questions. Okay. So here you can see this one. After finding the defect, okay, after finding the defect, we can categorize the defect into two parts. So what is the two parts? Functional defect and non-functional defect. After finding the defect, okay, we are categorized into defect into two types. So functional defect and non-functional defect. So what is the severity? Already you can see that one. Okay. Next, see this one. What is the severity with the examples, explanations? Okay. Seriousness of the defect with respect to testing is called as what? Severity. Seriousness of the defect. Okay. So definitely we will work on this defect. After finding the defect, first categorize the defect into two types, functional testing and non-functional defect. Non-functional defect and non-functional defect. Okay. If the defect is functional defect, okay, I will assign high severity. So all functional defects are high severities. So you will keep it in mind. Okay. You will keep it in mind. All severities are contains. So sorry, all functional defects are contains in the assigning the high severities. All functional defects are okay. All functional defects are high severity functional defects. So you can keep it in mind. Okay. So next I will assign to high severity. If the defect is non-functional defect, okay. So I will assign to either low or medium. Okay. Non-functional defect means it is a high functional defect means it is what? High severity. A non-functional defect means what? Either low or medium severity. Okay. After finding the defect, so testing is possible. It is called as what? Medium severity. Okay. So after finding the defect, after finding the testing here, so we can find as a manual tester, I can find, okay, I can finding the defect. Okay, as a manual tester, I can finding the defect. Okay, defect testing is possible. Defect testing is possible. This what? It is a medium severity. If defect is not possible, it is called as a high severity. Defect is possible means medium or low severity. Defect is not possible, it is what? High and it is maximum high severity. Okay. Next severity. See here, all functional defects are high severity. Okay, definitely. So check further, possible it is working or not. We can check this one. So priority means what? Important of defect fixing with respect to client or application. So again here showstopper defect or blocker. So why we are using this one? It is having the high severity. Okay, functional defects are comes under high severity. Okay, so same like that. This one not what is showstopper defect. So not able to continue further testing until fixing that defect is called as a showstopper defect. Okay, not able to continue further testing until we can fix the defect, until developer fix the defect. Okay, so in these situations, URL is not working, database is also not working, and login page is also not working in the showstopper defects. Okay, so next topic is what? Software release notes and build release notes. Okay, note here, actually in Agile Scrum model, there is no builds. Okay, in Agile Scrum model, there is no build happen. There are no build is conducting the Agile Scrum model here. So if you follow any another model like V model or spiral model, waterfall model, RAD model, if you follow any another model, okay, you will get what? Builds. In Agile Scrum model, we don't have any builds. Okay, so after fixing the defect by the developer or development team, send an email to what? Test leader, testing team is okay. The email name is what? SRN and SRN, BRN, software release notes and build release notes. Okay, so in that SRN BRN, so what we can maintain in that SRN BRN? So defect fixing information is stored into the SRN and BRN. Okay, defects fixing information. So after finding the defect by the developer, as a tester, what is your action? This is the question. We can send the answer. So first, as a manual tester, we can conducting on the smoke testing. If smoke test is pass, I will go to the retesting or actual testing. Okay, so I can execute 10 test cases. So 8 test cases is passing in that situation. So 9th test case is failed. Okay, so I can find the defect. So I can find the defect means what? Fail the defect means okay, we can send to defect tracking team or bug. Okay, so developer accept that bug and then fix that bug. Okay, developer fix that, but again send to whom? Again send to developer team. Okay, again send to developer team. So again, I can connect them with testing, retesting in these situations. Okay, this is the answer for after fixing the defect by the developer as a tester. What is your answer? Okay, again, I am conducting smoke testing. Okay, and then conducting what real or actual testing, I can check all the test cases. Okay, if defect is arised, okay, if defect is arised, means what? I can send an email to the developer. So please fix the defect. Please fix the bug. So developer fix that bug. Again send to whom? Tester. So tester again conducting retesting on that defect, that bug. Okay. So if the bug is closed, then I can close the test. Okay. So see here, screen one. So test only, we can test only this defect is called as what? Retesting. So complete screen three. Sanity testing is what? Partial regression test. So I can complete on screen one, screen two, screen three means. So we can conducting which testing? Regression test. Okay. So now I will go to the retesting. See this one. What is the retesting definition? So previously failed test cases. Okay. Previously failed test cases execution on modified build. Okay, so for modification of correctness, this one, retesting after fixing the defect by the developer. As a manual tester, I am going to check I am going to test the fixed defect. It is correctly working or not. Okay, this is called as what? Manual modified. Next, sanity testing means this one, modified test cases and previously passed most related ninth case without any side effects is working or not. We can check that one. So modified test case and previously passed most related case is working or not without any side effects is called as what? Sanity testing. This is what definition. See here. After fixing the defect by the developer, okay, after fixing the defect by the developer, I will test fixed defect plus okay most related defect or most related functionality to the fixed defect without any side effects is working or not. We can check that is called as a sanity test. Okay. Next regression means full regression modified plus previously passed all test cases. Okay, ninth related test case without any side effects is working or not, we can check that one. Okay, modified test cases plus previously passed all related to modified case is working or properly working or without any side effects is called as what? Regression testing. After fixing the defect by the developer, I will test fixed defect plus all related to, okay, all related functionality to be test. All related functionality to the fixed defect without any side effects is working or not is called as what? Regression test. So regression test is same like as what? Software test. Okay. Regression testing is same like as a software testing type. In which these the test cases are re-executed here. Okay, in regression testing, it is what re-executed here in order to check whether the previous functionality of the application is working fine. Okay, then new changes have not introduced any new bugs in the regression test. Okay, so see this one. I one okay one this one 1 2 3 4 total 500 test cases available. In 300 test case fail here. Okay, in 300 test cases fail in the 300 number. Okay, so 1 to 200 before 1 to 299 test cases passed or not? Yes. So 300 test cases fail here. In between 1 to 500. So I can execute the 1, 2, 3, 4, same like that. So 299 test cases are passed here. So 300 test cases fail in this situation. So 300 test cases fail means what? After fixing the defect by the developer. Okay. So retesting on 300 case. Okay. Next I again execute 399 plus 299, 298, 297. This is called a sanity testing. This is called a partial regression test. 1 to 300 means regression. There is no defects in the 1 to 300. Okay, that's why it is what regression testing. This is what automation is introduced in this situation. So real or actual testing means 301 to 500. Why means here we can fix the defect again conducting an watch testing, retesting. That's why it is what real or actual test in real time. Okay. So in real time, one sprint is there. Okay, what is the sprint? Okay, what is the definition of the sprint? Sprint is a time period. Okay, so 1 month contains 2 sprints. Each 15 days we can divide into 2 sprints. Okay, so see this one. So first testing team conduct on real, actual or end-to-end testing. So execute in this situation positive test case or negative test case, both can execute in the real or actual test. Next, second what? Testing team conduct on retesting. Okay, testing team conduct on retesting. If defect is identified by the tester and fixed by whom? Developer in this situation. Then testers are again conducting what? Retesting. So note, if no defect in any user story, we are going to conduct a regression test without retesting. Okay. If no defect is in any user story, we are going to conduct regression testing without retesting. So not in real time, regression testing usually is different here. Okay. So see this one, this is one example, sprint 25.01. Sprint is what? 15 days. So 16 to, so this is sprint 2. Okay, sprint 2 number 25.02. So each sprint contains what? 14 days. Okay, or 15 days. Okay, so 2 to 4 weeks we can develop one sprint. Sprint is a what? Time period. So see this is one sprint. So the sprint what? Related regression testing is conducted here. So models what? A and B is B and C and D. These are the models. If a defect is in module A, after fixing that defect, okay, as a tester, what is your action? First, after fixing the defect, a smoke test is passed. Again, smoke test is passed, we will go to the retesting. Retesting on which module? A module. Next, again, sanity testing on module and module B. Next, regression testing on what? All bulls or not. So, all functionalities are working or not. We can check that is called as a regression testing. Okay, most related functionality is working or not. We can check is called as without any, okay, without, see this one, regression testing without side effects. Okay. So next, this is the smoke testing definitions. Okay. So smoke testing is completed. Regression testing is retesting is completed. Smoke test is completed. Real actual testing is completed. Retesting completed. Sanity testing is completed. Last one is what? Regression testing is also completed. So in next class we will discuss about defect life cycles. Okay. So thank you.